Show! Idiots!
Greyhound freedom!
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Greyhound race's got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Dog racing's got to go. Broken bones, broken back. Dogs die on racing tracks. Broken bones, broken back. Dogs die on racing tracks. Broken bones, broken back. Dogs die on racing tracks. GB, what you say? How many dogs have you killed today? GB, what you say? How many dogs have you killed today?
Dogs die on racing tracks. GB, what do you say? How many dogs have you killed today? GB, what do you say? GB, what do you say? How many dogs have you killed today? How many dogs have you killed today?
Dogs die on racing tracks! Dogs die on racing tracks! Got to go!
They die!
Open up the kennel door! 5, 6, 7, 8!
When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Greyhound freedom! Now! They die!
It's not just a bet! It's not just a bet!
What
Do we want?
Greyhound freedom!
When do we want it?
Now! Broken bars! Broken bars!
Dogs die on racing tracks!
Broken bars! Broken bars!
Dogs die on racing tracks!
Shut down Greyhound racing!
Shut down Greyhound racing!
Shut down Greyhound racing!
Shut down Greyhound racing!
You bet!
They die!
You bet!
They die!
You bet!
They die!
You bet!
They die!
There's no excuse!
For animal abuse!
There's no excuse!
For animal abuse!
There's no excuse!
For animal abuse!
What do we want?
Greyhound freedom!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Greyhound freedom!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Greyhound freedom!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Greyhound freedom!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Greyhound freedom!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Greyhound freedom!
When do we want it?
Now!
Show! Idiots!
Greyhound freedom!
Shut up!
Now!
Shut up!
Greyhound racing!
Sport!
Violence!
It's not fun!
It's violence!
It's not sport!
It's violence!
It's not business!
It's violence!
It's not business!
It's violence!
It's not profit!
It's violence!
It's not bets!
It's violence!
It's not sport!
It's violence!
It's not bets!
It's violence!
It's not profit!
It's violence!
It's not business!
It's violence!
It's not fun!
It's violence!
It's not sport!
It's violence!
It's not bets!
It's violence!
It's not profit!
It's violence!
It's not sport!
It's violence!
It's not sport!
It's violence!
It's not sport!
It's violence!
There's no excuse!
For animal abuse!
There's no excuse!
For animal abuse!
Broken bones, broken backs!
Dogs die on racing tracks!
Broken bones, broken backs!
Dogs die on racing tracks!
Hear me all right? Yes. Can you hear me all right? Yeah. That was an amazing march. Wow. My name is Sean. I'm the CEO of Animal Aid, one of the organizations. Oh, shout out to Animal Aid. Thank you. One of the organizations that have helped organize the march alongside Shutdown and the League Against Cruel Sports and dozens of others. Thank you so much for being here. That was electrifying. Going through the streets of London with like-minded people, raising our voices in unison, that was special. I feel like we're unstoppable. We've got some speeches coming up in a little bit, some 3 wonderful speakers, and a surprise at the very end. But right now, everybody who has one of the 161 dog leads, yeah, I think most of you have them, we're gonna hold them above our heads. Like this. For a minute. And the photographers are gonna get shots of the imagery of us defiantly holding up the dog leads, each one marking a precious life, an individual, vulnerable, sweet little couch potato greyhound. And now if you could, one at a time, not one at a time, just all of you, please walk forward and take your lead and put it in a pile right in front.
Sorry, guys.
What this is, guys. This is
opportunities to take photos later.
speeches from.
Again, thank you so much, everybody, for taking the time, taking the weekend to come to London to raise your voices in unison, to be heard. We've got 3 speakers. I want to introduce one at a time. The first is Vanessa Wadden, thank you, with Hope Rescue, which is a dog rescue charity in Wales. She's been part of the Cut the Chase coalition that secured the Greyhound racing ban in Wales. It was huge work that you, Vanessa, and everybody else did. First Wales, then Scotland, England next. And you've rehomed hundreds of greyhounds in your day through your charitable work as well. So I just want to, well, everyone, give a warm welcome to Vanessa.
So I'm Vanessa, I'm the founder and CEO at Hope Rescue. 22 years ago, one greyhound changed my life. He was found on Vocrou Mountain in Wales, lying amongst rubbish. Someone had shot him in the head with a captive bolt gun. They had cut off his ears so no one could identify him from his racing tattoos. And yet, when a dog walker found him, he was still wagging his tail. Despite everything that had been done to him, he still trusted people. His injuries were too severe and he had to be put to sleep. Some people had read that story and said, how awful, and turned the page. I couldn't. That greyhound lit a fire in me that has never gone out. I attended the protest outside the court where the man responsible, a groundsman from Valley Greyhound Stadium, was prosecuted. It was there, 22 years ago, that I met incredible campaigners from Greyhound Action and Greyhound Rescue Wales. and I started volunteering alongside them. I protested outside tracks and betting shops, and I helped find rescue spaces for surplus racing greyhounds. Notice surplus, not retired. That journey eventually led me to establish Hope Rescue in 2005. And Hope Rescue was named after that brave dog, Last Hope. Because his life had to mean something, and greyhounds have held a special place in my heart ever since, I adopted an elderly greyhound called Hope. In 2007, I helped organise a march for greyhounds in London, just like this one. But as Hope Rescue grew, I realised something important. Rescuing dogs is essential, but if we only rescue them after the damage is done, we will never end their suffering. To truly protect animals, we have to change the system that harms them, and that became an important part of Hope Rescue's mission. In 2018, we began receiving deeply worrying reports from Valley Greyhound Stadium about the welfare and fate of the dogs racing there. I approached the track and they agreed to let us help. Working in partnership with Greyhound Rescue Wales and Forever Hounds Trust, we attended every single race meeting, taking in the surplus and injured dogs on the night and working with a network of rescues to rehome them. But what I witnessed at that track will stay with me forever. When you read the industry's own statistics and the huge numbers of greyhounds injured and killed every year, over 38,000 injured and 4,399 killed since 2017, it's sometimes hard to think of those as individual dogs. Before every race, I would hold my breath. Please let them all come home safely. Sometimes they did. Far too often, they didn't. I watched dogs crash into barriers. I watched legs shatter. I watched dogs limp off the track in agony. I carried broken greyhounds to our van to rush them to our emergency vets. 200 greyhounds over a 3-year period were rescued by the Amazing Grace project, 40 of whom had career-ending injuries. Those weren't statistics though. Those are living, feeling, gentle dogs whose only crime was running as fast as they could around Deathly Bend because we taught them to. Every one of those numbers had a name. Everyone mattered. The more evidence we gathered at the track, the clearer the truth became. This wasn't about isolated incidents. This wasn't about bad trainers. This wasn't about one track. This suffering was built into the industry itself. It was endemic. So in 2021, we acted. More than 35,000 people signed our petition calling on the Welsh Government to ban greyhound racing. One by one, other organisations joined us as their policy positions on greyhound racing shifted. Greyhound Rescue Wales, Blue Cross, Dogs Trust and the RSPCA. Together, we became the formidable Cut the Chase Coalition. Together, we refused to accept that broken bones and dead dogs were simply the price of entertainment. And together, we made history. When the Senate voted to make Wales the first UK country to ban greyhound racing, I sat in the public gallery, surrounded by my fellow Cut the Chase campaigners and our Amazing Grace volunteers. It was the proudest day of my life. Not because we had won, but because the greyhounds had. Because after decades of suffering, someone had finally listened. But today is not a celebration, it's a reminder. Because the fight is not over. Whilst Wales and Scotland now has acted, thousands more greyhounds across the rest of the UK continue to face injury, exploitation and death in the name of sport. The industry tells us welfare standards are improving, but greyhounds are still dying. Greyhounds are still being injured. Greyhounds are still being discarded while they are no longer profitable, with animal welfare charities expected to pick up the pieces. No amount of rebranding can hide that truth. No welfare strategy can make an inherently dangerous sport safe. The answer isn't better regulation. The answer is to end greyhound racing. Today, we stand together here, not because we are against something. We stand together because we are for something. For compassion, for kindness. For a future where greyhounds no longer face the prospect of injury or death every time they race. Wales and Scotland have shown that change is possible. Now the rest of the UK must find the courage to do the same. Let's make sure that one day soon, no greyhound will ever again suffer the fate of Last Hope. Thank you.
She's amazing. Thank you so much for those words and that inspiration. Next, we have somebody who really doesn't need much of an introduction. She works over there. Baroness Natalie Bennett has been a green peer in the House of Lords, a staunch advocate for animal protection. She's raised her voice on countless occasions to speak up for greyhounds, and it's an absolute pleasure to have her here today addressing us. Natalie.
Well, thank you very much, and I have to say it's an absolute pleasure and honour to follow our last speaker. And wasn't that such a wonderful demonstration of one of my favourite hashtags, campaigning works? And I've also got a saying that I apply to the issue of greyhound racing, but also to many, many other issues, which is that we need a world where everyone makes politics what they do not have done to them. So you mightn't have thought today, you might not think of this as doing politics, but it absolutely is. We need a world where we change our attitudes to all non-human animals. And I'm just going to mention, because it was said, you know, I usually work over there. A couple of weeks ago, I was presenting a private member's bill, a nature's rights bill, that would give all non-human animals and ecosystems the right to be agents of choice, to have their wishes, the way they would want to live their life, taken into account, given legal weight. And on that line, I have to point to the man over there. Sorry, I'm going to embarrass him. I'd rather race you to the sofa. Isn't that so right about greyhounds? But just a few more points to make in terms of specifically on greyhounds. Currently, the only countries that have racing, commercial racing of greyhounds is England, Northern Ireland, Australia, the Republic of Ireland and the United States. And I am confident that all of you here today are going to be part of crossing England off that list. Now, we've already heard a lot, and I'm sure everyone here knows the terrible statistics about what happens to greyhounds who are injured in racing around those deeply dangerous tracks, and what happens to the greyhounds who are quote-unquote not fast enough. What happens to all of them? But I think it's really important that we think about what happens to every greyhound. And some of you may know there's a big report came out from Blue Cross, Dogs Trust, Hope Rescue and the RSPCA. And I learnt quite a bit from reading this report. And one of the things I didn't know is that animals, greyhounds racing greyhounds, you know, quote unquote successful greyhounds, spend 95% of their life in a kennel. And I was talking to a friend of mine who's been a very senior vet. I can't name her for reasons that I might get her into trouble, but she's a very senior vet, let's leave it at that. She was saying how understanding of animal welfare has moved on to think about, do animals have a chance to express their natural behaviours, live the kind of life they would actually want to live? And 95% of your time in a kennel, I can guarantee, is not how greyhounds want to live, and you all know that. Yeah. Now, a couple of other things to say. Rehoming. The industry, of course, makes a great deal about rehoming, but also I learnt from this report that the Greyhound Retirement Scheme releases £420 per dog to cover rehoming costs. Charities, it costs them £2,000 to £2,800 to rehome each greyhound on average. So the industry is making a tiny gesture, and it's charities, volunteers, great people who really care about the greyhounds who've got to pick up the cost, who've got to stand in all weathers at their local train station and rattle a tin and try and raise some money and have cake stalls, and all of that things that people are doing are great. But those dogs are the industry's responsibility, and the industry is not meeting its responsibilities, and that is unacceptable. And the final point I'll make is about rehoming, and rehoming greyhounds, great, and I've known some lovely greyhounds, and some of them, yes, are Hannah Spencer's, and I know she would love to be here today. Yes, they are undoubtedly the most politically famous greyhounds. She, of course, was the Green who won the Gorton and Denton by-election, and and the first day she was down here, we were just across the road in the park with the greyhounds, and of course the media basically wanted to take photos of the greyhounds. But there's a job of work still to be done to explain to that media that those greyhounds are rescued. They were the lucky ones who were saved from the miserable life that so many are still suffering, and that has got to end. But every greyhound that's rehomed, great as that is, of course takes a place that another dog might also be rehomed. And the animal charities at the moment have a huge problem with finding homes to rehome dogs. Often bred from puppy farms, a whole lot of other issues of animal welfare, dog welfare, that I won't go into now. But we need to stop greyhound racing. We need to stop those animals needing to be rescued. Every dog in Britain should have a decent life. So I'm very proud of the fact that in Scotland it was a Green motion that went to the Scottish Parliament that got voted on that banned. And I can promise you across the road we will be doing all we can to see the same thing happen in England. But we can't do it alone. It depends on all of you. So you know what to do. Write to your MP, hassle your MP, make sure you get a response from them. Tell them you care about this. Go and visit them at a surgery if you can. Get the word out that England must stop greyhound racing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Baroness Bennett. Inspirational words. Next, we have somebody who's probably familiar to a lot of you to come up to speak. Norb Gordon. Where's Norb? Where is he? Here he is. Norb heads up shutdown campaigns, which supports grassroots communities across the UK to campaign to, well, shut down the tracks. From Romford to Nottingham to Hove. And you also do work with a group of, well, a lot of volunteers to monitor injuries that are happening on tracks and really holding the governing body to account. Norb, your dedication is truly inspiring. And yeah, what do you have to say to everybody?
Thank you, Sean. Well, it's a pleasure to be here today, and I'm so grateful to be joined by every single one of you. I'll keep it short because we are low on time and it's very hot, but we are going over the road to a park afterwards, so please do join us. My first experience of greyhounds used for racing was when I was working at the RSPCA as an animal care assistant, and some of you may recognise the name Rebecca Perkins, but she was a disgraced trainer who was responsible for 37 greyhounds who she left to suffer, and some of them die before the authorities were able to intervene. She was convicted and sentenced to prison, but her 37 greyhounds who suffered, some suffering so badly that when they were finally rescued they couldn't be saved because they were so emaciated. This is not an isolated incident. This is the secret lives of greyhounds that most people don't get to see because they're hidden by an industry that lacks any accountability, transparency or responsibility. These greyhounds, they're confined to kennels. They're left for hours every single day with limited enrichment, uncomfortable bedding, behind bars, in kennels that in the winter are freezing and in the summer are so hot that dogs literally die. Like the 3 dogs less than a fortnight ago who were cooked alive in Star Pelor dog track kennels in the northeast of England. And when they're not confined to kennels, their brief respite is to be forced around a dangerous dog track that claimed the lives of 161 greyhounds in 2025. And the racing industry would have you believe that welfare's getting better, but 160 greyhounds killed last year on tracks was a 31% increase on the year before, despite fewer races, despite fewer tracks. So last year I set up shutdown campaigns to support local people to shut down their dog tracks. Some people were already campaigning, some for many years, and I had the privilege of getting to know them and linking them up with one another, all the way from Newcastle down to Hove. And where there were tracks without campaigns, I've had the privilege of helping local people set up those campaigns. So when we launched last August, we did so with a protest at every single one of the 18 active dog tracks at the time in England. Now, a year later, there are only 15 left, and bans have been passed in Scotland and Wales thanks to the tireless campaigning of people like Vanessa, who we heard from before. We've also built up a network of over 50 volunteers who monitor every single dog race that happens in the UK every single week. And initially that might not sound a lot, but it amounts to about 20 hours of footage every single week. And these incredible volunteers do it for nothing except thanks and for the greyhounds. Many of them are here, so a round of applause for them, please. Thank you. And for monitoring those races, between January and June of this year alone, we identified over 800 dogs as having fallen on English dog tracks. And this criminality is hidden from the public as well, because over half of those races where dogs fell were hidden from the public and never uploaded, which normally they would be. But what I want people to take away from this is that we are winning. We've thoroughly ruined the 100-year anniversary of racing in England for the industry at a time when they were trying to celebrate. But what is there to celebrate when they're killing greyhounds basically every other day? When it's already been banned in Scotland and a ban has been voted on in Wales, and Wales's last dog track will be shutting down soon. And last night, as they tried to celebrate at Dunstall Park Dog Track, our brilliant campaigners in Wolverhampton were outside, and pleased to report that so few people went in, it can't have been much of a celebration. But it doesn't end here, and I'd like to end this with a call to action to everyone, because our local campaigns will continue. So if you live near one of those 15 active dog tracks, get in touch with your local campaign. Get in touch with shutdown campaigns if you can't find them, and I'll link you up with them. And get out onto the streets, protesting, speaking to the public, and shutting these tracks down one by one. And if you don't live near a track, our monitors will also continue monitoring every single race. So you can do that too, from the comfort of your home, with as little as 15 minutes a week to monitor one set of races. And on the 1st of August, I'm going to begin walking daily until I hit 161 miles for the 161 greyhounds killed in 2025. So please do follow that journey and the journey of all of our local campaigns as they strive to shut down every single dog track on shutdown.campaigns. Thank you.
Norb, thank you so much for those words. And today's been a very special moment for all of us to come together and raise our voices and agitate and hope that change is coming soon. It's not over though. It's not over. If you want, please join us in the Victoria Walled Gardens, which is just across the street, for socializing and relaxing and connecting and getting out of the sunshine. So there'll be a big group of us going over very, very shortly.